Hello again. Hope that you enjoyed the video and stuff from yesterday. Excuse me. Just going to continue on here today. Yesterday I told you the story about the man I met and that he had counseled his clients to get extended care insurance, and how the wife had just been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And I said that you don't have to do that, which is a pretty big statement, right? And that it's a pretty big claim that you don't have to do that. Well, this is what I have to say. Not really. It isn't that big a claim. And I'm going to go on over the next few days and perhaps even weeks or months, I don't know. I'm just going to talk with you more and more and more about what Kirsten and I have learned because of what we've gone through, and try and impart that to you. So moving along, and I have notes over here. And just because, like I told you last time, I tend to get on a rabbit trail and I never come back from the trail. Like a dog, I just keep chasing that rabbit and I won't let it go. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of my story, and I'm sorry if you've had to endure this before, but listen again. So I'm a fourth generation farmer. At one time, my dad and I farmed nearly 4,000 acres of corn and soybeans, and we had all of the huge equipment, and we used all of the pesticides and all of the fertilizers, and we were just what you think of when you think of the big, bad, evil farmer. That was us. We did what we thought was right then, and we are doing what we think is right now as well. So we stopped doing all that farming because my dad became ill. And it was an illness that was chased for quite a while as possibly being heart disease or something like that. But that's not what it was. And it was bad enough that my dad essentially retired at the ripe old age of 52. Basically, Dad has been retired since he was 52 years old because of the illness that he contracted, or I should say the symptoms that he contracted. I don't call it a disease, and I don't call it a disease on purpose. And I'll go into that. You'll begin to understand over time. So Dad was ill, and we quit farming in about 2000. Not in about 2000, we quit that agriculture in 2000. And in 2003, at the ripe old age of 37, I got sick with the same thing. And I could bore you with all the symptoms. They're not, doesn't really matter. But suffice it to say, I sat on the couch for at least 6 months. Often when I tell the story, I just say that I sat on sat on the couch for 6 months without moving, and that is partially true, but it's not the whole story. It took years for me to recover from the illness, and I'm getting ahead of myself because my notes all just blew away. I hope you can see that I've got some under my foot and some are over there. So when we were still doing commercial farming, I got pneumonia pretty often, sometimes as often as twice a year. So when I became real ill, our doctor treated me for pneumonia. I don't remember how often, but he did for quite a while. And that didn't have any effect, it didn't help. So then his next thought was, well, maybe you have cancer. So he sent me to get a CT scan, which I didn't have cancer. And often when I tell this story, I say, when he said, hey, maybe you've got cancer, it didn't scare me. And the thought is of folks that, oh, it didn't scare me because I wanted to have a diagnosis. That isn't it. It didn't scare me because I was so sick and I was so out of it that it didn't even register to me. The idea that perhaps I have cancer, my doctor thinks maybe I've got cancer, didn't even register to me. I didn't care. I don't even know how to explain it. It just didn't matter. I didn't understand. I didn't care. It didn't register. I was in bad shape. I gained weight. It was bad. I don't remember most of it. How's that? I don't remember most of that time in my life for probably, I'll bet 2 to 3 years of that time. So 37 to 39 or 40. I really don't have much memory of that time. You got to talk to Kirsten to find out what happened, because I just don't remember. I was alive, but that was about it. So why do I tell this story? Why do I tell you this story right now? Why did I lead off by telling the story about the folks, the insurance and Alzheimer's? Why am I telling you this? It's to get your attention, and it's to explain to you how, or to give you the reason why Kirsten and I and John do what we do. Why do we care so much? And why do we try so hard? It's because I was sick. It's because my dad was so sick. And because what we've learned due to that is that it's not required. It's not, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this dumb thing the way I want it. It's not required to have that happen to you. It doesn't have to. So how can that be? And so I'm trying to remember what my notes say, because they're blown all over the ground here. When I have time to write it out, I can think through the whole thing and make sure it makes sense. So we're just kind of winging it here. Just kind of stay with me. You don't have to do this. And it has to do with, I remember now. So the way I got healed up and as good as I am now is, in essence, and my dad and my dad's brother, my uncle, and his son, my first cousin, went to a different doctor, an alternative doctor. That's not the story. The story is what he did for us. And it was the same thing for all four of us. And this is the important part in the beginning, really, of the discussion that I want to have with you, is what he changed for us in the way that you can avoid getting disease, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, diabetes, heart disease, and even cancer, and on and on and on, is this. Listen, okay, pay really close attention. I'm going to get it close up. I don't know where I'm supposed to look. It's diet. All right? So I don't care. I don't mean to say like Weight Watchers diet or, what's the other one that Dan Marino does. I don't care about that. Pick whichever one you want. What I'm concerned with is what's in that food. All right? So that's a lead in, and I'm going to stop because my notes are scattered all over the place. That's what I'm going to start talking with you about, and it's going to be a long discussion. We're just going to keep going along, and I'm going to share with you what I'm learning in Big Stem, and I'm going to share with you what we're doing. Every once in a while I'm going to take you out in the field and show you the chickens, and I'm going to show you the chicks, and it'll just be an ongoing discussion. That's what I want to do with you, and the reason I want to do it with you is because I care. I really care. It disgusts me, and it angers me, and it gets my hackles up that that people are getting sick like this, and it's not required. It isn't part of the deal. There's a way around it, and it's what's in your food. It's what your food is. All right. It isn't the diet like, oh, you can have this many calories of this and this many calories of that. I don't care. That isn't what my thing is. You got to talk to somebody else about that. I'm a farmer, and I understand production and other things that I'm going to delve into with you in these conversations. So I'm going to stop kind of here, but before I go, I need to kind of give you a commercial, because we are farmers and we make our living off from, now we grow chicken and we sell chicken. So I'm going to stop here and give you a little commercial, and then we'll end until tomorrow, and then we'll pick up the story again. All right. So I've talked to you. I got your attention about Alzheimer's and about my own life and my dad's life and my uncle's life and my cousin's life. And those guys are dear to me. They're my neighbors. They're not just my blood, but I can see their homes from where I'm sitting here, all three of them. Look right at their houses, and I know them personally. Unfortunately, Uncle Ted has passed now from cancer. We'll go into that later. So the chicken. So for those of you who don't know, and even if you do, listen to me again. The chicken that we have is the very best chicken that I can grow for you. All right. So it's pastured and it's non-GMO. All right. So the pasturing means that it lives its life, and I'm pointing out there because I'm pointing at the pasture where they're living and looking at them right now. The pasture is better than organic. We do not ever use pesticides on that pasture, and we do not use petrol fertilizers on it. The fertilizing is done by the chickens. They eat the food, they eat the pasture, and they give their deposit, which is fertilizer. We move them twice a day onto fresh pasture, so they're getting a fresh place to live and not live in their own filth. They're getting a fresh, as Joel Salatin says, a fresh salad bar of food to eat, a fresh group of bugs to ingest, and we feed them and give them fresh water twice a day. And then the second thing is that we give them non-GMO feed, certified non-GMO feed. So you might say, well, organic's better. Nope, organic is not better. I am not a fan of organic, and I'll tell you why right now. By law, by the label requirements, which are controlled by the USDA and the federal government, to be organic does not mean pesticide free. I'm going to say that again because it's really important. Organic does not mean pesticide free. Now, that's not to say that if somebody that you know where you live says that they're organic, some farm family says we're organic, and you go to them and you talk to them and you know that they're pesticide free, it's not what I'm talking about. But stuff that you get at Kroger or Meijer or wherever you shop that says organic does not mean pesticide free. All right, so they can use pesticides that are naturally derived, and they use them. All right, so we do not use any pesticides no matter what. There are no pesticides on that pasture, and we feed non-GMO feed. And so I use non-GMO for two reasons. One is organic is stupid expensive. And if I'm going to use organic feed for our chickens, that means I have to, and I am going to extract a lot more money from you than what is required. And I'm not going to do that. That's not honest. But non-GMO is an honest label. They're saying we use pesticides. Organics wants to make you believe that they don't. We're not saying that. We know that they do. And we're saying we use pesticides, but we don't use genetically modified organisms, GMO. That's not in there. Beyond that, the feed that we use, the label, I've read the label, and the last third or even half of that label is all, I got to write the right term, I'm sorry, the word left me, fermented. All of that, those foods, those things that are in that feed are fermented. The last half or third or half of that label are fermented foods. Why is that a big deal? Fermented food, and this will be something maybe that Kirsten will talk to you about because it's not my deal, but fermented food is really, 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 really good for your gut and my gut, meaning our digestive systems. That fermented food is also really, 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 really good for those chickens. All right, so they're getting a lot of fermented food on top of the Beyond Organic pasture, and on top of being moved twice a day. Okay, so this chicken that we have is the very best for your health that you can get. Let that sink in. It isn't just good flavored, which it is. It isn't just amazing texture, which it is. And it isn't just local, which it is. It is the very best for your health and to help you. Here's a Bill Clinton point. How do you like that? To help you avoid these diseases. And I'm going to go into and explain that later, okay? But I need to take a time to support us. All right? I'm happy to give you this information, but we got to eat too. We got to live and we've got to pay our bills. So our chicken is the best. It is absolutely the best that you can get. You cannot get better chicken than what we have. And because I care for you, I have a deal for you. All right? And to be able to see this deal written out, go to the description below this video and it's all written out. So here's what I'm going to do for you. From this week, today is July 31st through Friday, and I have it on my notes what the date is, but I don't know it in my head. So you'll just have to go look at the calendar. So today is July 31st, Monday. On Friday, so good from today through Friday, if you purchase $100 or more worth of our chicken, we are going to give you at least $10 worth of chicken for free. So you're going to get at least $110 for your 100. All right, there's more. Wait, that's number one. Number two, if you purchase over $150 worth of chicken, you're going to get the $10 of free chicken meat. And if you're within a 50-mile radius of our farm right here, we're going to bring it to your door for free on Saturdays. So you got to order by Friday. Saturday, we'll bring it right to wherever I'm pointing, right to your door. Okay? For free. Not even going to charge you. There's more. That's two. Number three. If you order $200 or more, we are going to give you not only free delivery, but we are going to give you $20 worth of free food. And every $100 that you go after that, there'll be another $10 worth of free chicken. All right? So $100 gets you $10 worth of free chicken or 10% discount. $150 gets you free delivery. $200 gets you free delivery and $20, at least $20 with a free chicken. And it's good from today the 31st through whatever Friday is, August, whatever. I'm not going to try and figure it out. If you order by then, we'll bring it to you on Saturday. All right? It's the best chicken. I'm not kidding you. And we've been growing chicken for years, basically for ourselves. And this is the best chicken that we have ever grown. The flavor and the texture are absolutely off the chain. They are off the hook. It is so good. When we cook it, we throw it on the grill and we don't do anything to it. We just grill it and we eat it. It doesn't even need salt or pepper or butter or garlic or anything. I'm not kidding you. It's that good. Even the boneless, skinless breast. Just grill it. Just cook it. And it is So good. It is absolutely remarkable. All right, so I'm done for today. Meet me here again tomorrow. I'll send you another email that'll have the link. The reason I'm doing the link, I should have told you this earlier, is I don't like that email system. So I just give you a link to another spot where I can have a better, well, where you are now, which is on our website. It's just a page on our website. It's not published on the website, but it's there. And this is a link to that, and I can do a much nicer job. So thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to me. Eat well. Lord bless you.